we continue to bring you up to speed with some of the results that continue to come into the IEC Results Operations Centre across the country. We take you to Bloemfontein, where the initial figures suggest that the ANC is in a commanding lead in the Free State with 52% of the votes tallied in so far. The DA follows with 19% and the EFF in third place. The IEC says so far about 50% of voting station results have been captured. Newzroom Afrika's senior reporter Tumaole Mohlaoli is at the Mangaung Results Centre and joins me now. 50%, Tumaole, very good morning to you. That speaks to a pace that we haven't seen in KwaZulu-Natal or the Eastern Cape. What's it looking like so far, and how are they managing to move at such a speed?
A very good morning, Paul. And how they're managing to move at such an incredible speed is one question I will pose directly to the spokesperson of the Free State IEC. That would be Mematabo Raserkhanye. And she is here with me now. Mematabo, the speed at which you are telling and recording these voting results, how are you doing it? That's the question.
Well, of course, our staff had enough time to rest, because during the day it was just those that are happening at the voting stations, and those that are capturing is only the permanent staff. So the permanent staff were not at the voting station, even though they were busy with other logistics. But they were ready, they were prepared, so that they can be able to capture enough on time.
And in terms of some of the little issues that had broken out, questions over ballots and vehicles breaking down, did you manage to sort those out? And are the party agents happy that as the IEC everything went well in terms of your handling of some of the little bit of issues that popped up?
Yes, so far we haven't had any reports or complaints about how we handled our affairs in terms of the logistics and everything that took place yesterday. Seemingly, we are a peaceful province.
And as far as everything goes for today, when are you expecting to have the results coming in and finalized and declared?
Well, of course, we have started seeing a progress. If you can just look behind us, the screens there shows that we have captured at least 491 voting districts out of the 1564 that we had. And then on our reports, it shows that we have captured in total the ballots that took place, 4,322. And we're just left with a little bit. We are at about 54%. So hopefully by the end of today, we would have covered the 45% that we are left with, and the number that we see there, the 31%, would have increased to 100%. Hopefully by the end of business today, or at least by midnight.
Thank you very much. So we are also joined here by some of the party officials who have been keeping a close eye on this particular board here, where the results have been reflected as they come in and as they are captured. I'm joined now by the Provincial Secretary of the EFF here in the Free State Province. But your response and your view so far about the results?
No, it's still early hours, so we're still putting a watchful eye. We're following the process very close, but we're happy as they continue to trickle in. I think we're going to show many political parties flames as EFF.
As the EFF, the question comes in about coalitions. There's been a lot that's been said about your attitude as a party towards going into coalitions with other parties in terms of trying to get power in municipalities. Here in Mangaung and across the Free State, is this something that you are considering?
I can't talk around those issues. Let's leave them for the other day. Today, my focus is on the results. We'll come to issues of coalition. Now, our focus is on the results, and then we'll come on issue of coalition. I think the national leadership will pronounce itself around the issue of coalition, but I don't think even themselves are even thinking of coalition now. Now we're preoccupied with results. We're looking at them closer. We're interpreting them. We're talking to the numbers. We want to know what is happening. But so far so good. We're very happy. We're extremely happy as EFF.
extremely happy, but are you not concerned about the fact that as it stands, although it's still early days yet, you're coming in at 4th place after the SSDF party?
I think it should be stored. SSD, it's a local organization in Stodo. Here we're talking about the provincial picture. They are not even featuring a provincial picture. They will be nowhere in a matter of time. Yes. So we're extremely confident. Yes, the EFF.
That's the EFF, very extremely confident and saying that it's still early days yet. The results are going to be coming through, and we will be giving you a picture as and when they come through here to the election center in Mangaung. With that, it's back to you in the studio.
Very well, Tumaole Mohlaoli, our senior reporter here on Newzroom Afrika, giving us a sense of how things are faring in that province. Let's now take you to a different part of the country as the results of the 6th local government election results continue to trickle in. We take you to the Western Cape to find out from residents in Cape Town how they are feeling post-election day. Our Newzroom Afrika reporter Nasiphi Same joins us live from Langa. Nasiphi, very good morning to you. The DA, as far as the forecast and the predictions are looking, is leading the race in that city. What reaction on the ground are you getting?
Well, Mpho, the DA in the city of Cape Town is well above the 50% mark, 59.79%. And we do understand that as of the 9:10 this morning, 19% of the votes have been counted by the IEC in the city of Cape Town, with the ANC sitting at 13.23%, followed by the Cape Congress, or rather the Cape Coloured Congress, in the city of Cape Town with 6.22%, Good at 5.01%. And just to paint a picture regarding Good, this is the first local government elections that they are contesting, and it seems to be that, the smaller parties or the new parties are making inroad into the local government space. And it seems like some residents are actually trusting the other parties with their vote. But as you mentioned, I am in Langa, Mpho, in an informal settlement called the Siyahlala informal settlement. And I'm sure you can see the train tracks behind me. But right next to me is an informal settlement settling on these train tracks. This is PRASA-owned land. We do understand that they were supposed to move not too long ago to a land in Easter River. But Budwam, a day after the elections, how are you feeling? And talk to us about some of the challenges that, as a resident that has been living in Siyahlala for about 5 years, are enduring.
In past 5 years, because of esibawubona nawo lapha kule ndawo sikuyo ngoku thina i-service delivery asinayo. We've got no toilets like apho unozinceda khona as uba okay ungumuntu ongutata ungumuntu ongumama wherever nabantwana. Asinamanzi sisiwam, amanzi thina ever since from i-COVID started zange sabanayo i-service like ba as ba sizifile as South Africans. Qha into sifila yona thina ngoku sifila as thina ingathi silahliwe ngurhulumente ophetheyo ngoku. So thina asisenalo ithemba kurhulumente ophetheyo ngoku because of urhulumente yena akakwazi ukuza kuthi azosinika inkonzo, but at the end of the day yena ufuna ivote yethu ba masimvotele, but akazi kuthi. So siswam mani andiboni tshintsho mna, asinambane asina nix. Yabona ezibawubona apha ethafeni sizinceda apha ethafeni thina, yabo asinayo indawo esithina sizifila sizi-South Africans like uhlale etoilet. Abantwana siswam bayadlala lapha sisi yo inhlungu esiphila phansi kwayo mani. Urhulumente kuthi thina usiphethe yasiboni thina swam mani.
Paul, as you can see, the gentleman is obviously very, very emotional. I mean, it's a day after the elections. still very emotional at the fact that it's been 5 years plus them living in these conditions without any basic services. I'll just ask my colleague to show you the toilet that this community or the residents have made for themselves. From my understanding, it's about 2,000, if not more, residents that do live in Siyahlala informal settlement, which is on my right-hand side. We do understand that PRASA had, promised that they were going to move them to an identified land. However, that has not happened yet. However, we do know that the DA mayoral candidate in the city of Cape Town, Jordan Hill-Lewis, on his 7 points has said that as the DA, they would like to gain control over the railway system, as we do understand that this central line has not been active for over a year, close to 2 years, which is one of the biggest corridors, obviously carrying, those communities and the disadvantaged communities who rely on metro rail services to go to and from work, which usually is in the Cape Town CBD. Mpho?
Very well, Nasiphi Same. Let's leave it there for now. Nasiphi, of course, speaking to a resident of the Siyahlala informal settlement, really telling of some of the questions we've been asking this morning, trying to establish why there was such a low voter turnout. You heard it yourself, that gentleman speaking about how he sees no change, how he feels abandoned by the government, and saying that their sense of dignity has been taken away, that they have no ablution facilities, and government has simply turned a blind eye, really just telling and speaking of some of those really important questions on the reasons why some people chose to not vote.